being called to order by referee Maurizio Pelli. Momentarily we'll name check these people, but the Japanese team on our left, number 1 Nakajima, number 2 Murayama, number 4 Amimaya, number 5 Yamuchi, and we're underway. Referee Pelli getting his game away a minute early, and that's a comfortable win there for Thurster. We'll name check these teams for you at half time, or if we get a moment before then. That's a comfy win for the Germans, all just having a feel of the ball and deciding whether they approve of it or not. Won't make any difference if they do or not. Referee Pelli selects the ball from the bin, and only the match balls allowed to be used. There have been teams trying to use their preferred ball over the years, but no more of that. The match balls kindly supplied to us, and they will be used for all the games. And this is the German team putting their mark down. On this occasion, that was Reimers taking no prisoners with that shot, absolutely bulleted in, and it's under a minute before Germany score the first goal. Currently ranked second in the world behind Spain, who we just watched on this pitch. Clearly looking to improve on that ranking. Japan ranked 18th as a matter of comparison. They were actually 19th at the last World Championship, but through coming second in the Asian Champs in 2023, they gained a few extra ranking points. So second against 18th. That shot pulled down, but shot clock reset on possession as well. Japan just get a chance to just settle their nerves. A bit annoying to concede a goal so early, I'm sure, but won't unsettle them too much. They can find their way back into this game. Miyawaki brings the ball down, just tests the German defence. Nothing doing there, sort of trademark German defence, probably regarded as the best in the world. And that shot from the outside by Kai, not really getting any change, just putting his team under pressure. And that pressure just results in a long, easy breaking ball for Thurster, who takes the second goal for Germany. I'm afraid the chance of scoring a goal from the outside the defence on a speculative shot against a German defensive side, not so good. Right, Japan, they need to settle their nerves here and get into the game. They can play some fantastic polo, the Japanese, but if they throw up weak shots at this German defence, they will pay the penalty, make no mistake about that. Now, that wasn't a weak shot, that was well worth a go from Nakajima. Crept down the left, but unfortunately the classic German response is you throw something at us and we come back down your throats at 100 miles an hour. That was Baker, just had too much time and an open goal to look at, probably on about 8, maybe even 10 metres, just looks up and goes, oh, well, that's well within my distance. Bang, have an open goal, thank you very much. The referees for this game, as I mentioned very briefly earlier, Maurizio Pelli on the far side in the white shirt, very, very experienced referee, possibly one of the most experienced, or definitely one of the most experienced referees in the world. Italian by origin, and on the near side to us we have Sandy Deqing from Belgium, again been on the circuit a long time, as you would expect. All the referees that are invited here have got a long track record in refereeing. And the ball replaced, as I said, with yet another match ball, go through them. Oh, and that's just out of the hands. That's frustrating for any player. Teed up for the big shot and it just fumbled away. And this is Lintz now. He moves the ball to Baker and we're rolling. The Japanese have got 2 players back, but they're a bit outnumbered here. 4 Germans, yeah, I'm afraid. They pay the price. That was Baker, really just looking like he's getting in his stride. Close up on him. Looks like that's just bread and butter to him. Yeah, give me the ball there, I'll score you a goal. All played with players like that. So Japan have to rally themselves here. We'll try and cover a few of the rules for those of you who are relatively new to polo. But you can push, you can tackle kayak to kayak, you can block shots and passes with the paddle, but it mustn't get too close to an opponent. And there are some fairly sophisticated rules around that, but that's the basic principle. And of course we have a goal at each end and a ball. And after that, the players are trying to get the ball from one end to the goal. That's a big shot, but that had to be saved, I think. That was just tipped out by Kroner. In front of the German goal. It was a well wound up shot. I'm curious to have seen where that had gone if he hadn't actually blocked it out for the corner. Lintz in the German goal, a very, very capable goalkeeper, but that was going at some pace. And again, Kai, this time switching over to their left for Miyawaki. He takes a shot at a paddle. Well, Germans can deal with that easily enough, and the same again. And of course, even before the shot's gone, this time it was Mai taking a run up the other end of the pitch. Yeah, thank you very much. There he is. He'd broken before the second phase of that Japanese attack. They'd so committed to the fact they were going to drop the ball, he was gone. And I'm afraid they were right. And that's 5-0 with under 4 minutes gone. Can't see the Japanese coach from my position, but that must be frustrating for Nagahara. Throwing shots like that at the German paddles will get them into some trouble. Here we go. Now they've got 3 men inside. The Japanese, they're looking for a gap in, and on the front we've got Verster working hard to try and turn over some possession, and he's done it pretty much all on his own. He's coming under some heavy traffic there, but that's exactly what he wants. If he draws 2 players in and gains the free throw, there must be black boats streaming upfield, and if they are, that is some pass. That is close to the length of the pitch, and that just goes to show that even the best of them can fumble one on that occasion. Oto, I hope he won't be offended, but that was a fumble, just as we've seen from other players. Those balls all, I suspect, brand new. We all know that they take a little bit of bedding in to reach full grip. I'm sure he'd be happy for me to offset that fumble with that statement. But nonetheless, the ball ends up in the goal. Japan here, 2 men inside now. I wonder if they're trying to be a little bit more alert to the break. 3 further out. Can't afford to give the Germans easy goals. The Germans are quite capable of making some fantastic goals for themselves. They'll take. Oh, now that they left somebody unattended, and that somebody was Chikaba. And he said thank you very much, because that was quite a nice finish. Again, from the commentary position, we could see straight down his line of sight, and he saw the far side of that goal and buried it. Very nice piece of work from him. Germans won't be pleased about that. It's not likely to affect the outcome of the game, but Japan score their first goal of this competition, and Germany still lead by 6-1. Some of the throws on these players, it's unbelievable. I think that's probably the first big save that Yamakawa's had to make in the Japanese goal, but he made it nicely. That was definitely on target, poked it over the top, and he's still rallying his troops, trying to sort his defence out. Going to get plenty more of that to deal with, but it's good to save one. Given too many open goals to the Germans. If they can make a few good saves, it might just give them some heart. Switching the play from side to side, and the Germans have committed an illegal tackle, a bump on the goalkeeper. Coaches hate them. Defensive players, anyone who doesn't do it hates them. Just a cheap turnover of possession, but that is a goalie foul. Japan come away, and suddenly Germans not scoring quite so freely. Japan have found their feet. It is very, very hard. The tension, home championship for Japan. Pressure builds on players. They have plenty of time to think about this first game. The Japanese will have known they were up against one of the giants of the sport. They've settled their nerves and they're into the game. Yamauchi takes his shot, goes for a corner, but all the time they can stay up here shooting, getting corners, they're in the game. Prepare for later in the week. New Zealand, Switzerland and Singapore, the other teams in this group. 3 progress, so who would want to pick out which 3 from that? Germany, I think, a sure bet as ranked 2 in the world. New Zealand would like to think 7, game them the next slot, but Switzerland 10, Japan 18 and Singapore 23 will all be hoping that they get the 3rd place out, secure themselves a better ranking for next World Championships, which are in Duisburg, Germany, strangely enough. Trying to get a shot away, but they have to keep tidying up after themselves. Japan, another shot clock reset. He's going to need some support. Throws it round his back, didn't have much option, there wasn't the accuracy on that. Now, how are the Germans going to respond to this? Oh, the Germans are going to respond by paddling as forward as fast as they can. Recycling it back, Armbruster now into the game. Chance for the German coach to blood all his players here, give everyone a bit of an outing, settle the nerves. Not that we've seen much example of nerves from this German side. Very nice, measured play. Job of work to do and to do it. That's a corner ball. Maurizio Pelli, I think that would have gone under either way, but it clearly did take a touch. The referee's certain, and he's a lot closer than we are. No argument from the players, as you would expect anyway. One of the things we can be very proud of in our sport generally. Respect for the referees, much higher than some other sports. And just take this moment to thank all the volunteers, particularly the timekeepers, line judges and so on. So far done a great job. Not easy when you've been trained up for a couple of days before the event and then put in the hot seat, and they have done themselves proud so far in my experience. Another corner. Germany rolling forwards. Not in any hurry here as we have the last 40 seconds of the half. 6-1, I mean obviously a comfortable lead for the German side, but I suspect they'll try and take one more just before the half-time hooter. Just bossing the clock here, passing back and forth between First and Reimers. Swings across to Linz, back to the middle. Inside, is this the run? That's a left-handed shot, but it's saved. And referee Pelli calls timeout with 10 seconds remaining on the half. It's going to be taken by Förster. It's going to be one pass, one shot probably from here. He picks out that pass and it's over the top to Linz, and he takes the shot. He takes it superbly. 3 seconds on the clock as he pings that in off the top bar. So Linz takes the scoreline.
Armani after shot, time out, 5 seconds.
We're just having a little adjust with the table because there was, I think, they're saying 5 seconds left on the clock. There was something like there was a little bit left on the clock when that shot went. So that gives Japan 5 seconds, 7 goals to 1 down to try and just rescue something from this half, but that's not going to be it. And so we enter the half-time period in this men's under-21 game in Group B between Germany, the ranked second place team in the world, and Japan, ranked 18th, 7 goals to 1. And as the teams change ends, so that for the second half we will have Germany playing from our left and Japan from our right. We will just take a moment to thank the sponsors of this event, the ICF, the organisers, obviously Upin Sport. We are in Deqing now, and I'm very happy to say that the weather has cleared up. It is just about drizzling, but it's brightened up. And as I say that, it starts to rain a little harder. So I apologise to everyone outside who is now getting wet because I said it has dried up. We will name check the teams for you. We will start with whichever team the producers swing to first. You have a nice shot of Sandy Tacoma from the back, the long-serving Belgian referee. It looks to me as if referee Pelly is just going to have a check with the line judges. They're checking the stock of balls, I think, in the buckets. There's obviously been some question raised. They're obviously having a look. I will get to name checking these teams because it doesn't look as if we're going to pan towards them. So, friends and family at home, thank you for subscribing. I'm sure we'll get shots of your loved ones in due course. Number 1 for the Germans is Corona. Number 2, the captain, Ota. Number 3, Förster. Number 4, Armbruster. Number 5, Linz. Number 6, Baker. Number 7, Reimers. Number 9, Mai. They coached by Michael Conrad, player of some note in his day. And the Japanese team in the white kayaks to our right are number 1, Nakajima. Number 2, Murayama. Number 4, Amamiya, and number 5, Yamamuchi. Number 6, Miyawaki. Number 7, Yamakawa. Number 8, Chikaba. Number 9, Kai, and number 10, Shen. Their coach, Nagahara. Slightly harder job to do to keep that ticking over, but the teams are now about to line up. We will be underway the second half. Obviously, the scoreline remains at 7-1 in favour of Germany. They cementing their, or sealing their chance, I suspect, of going forwards in the group. The rest left to play for. Referee just confirming with the table. I think we're showing 15 seconds remaining on the half-time break. The break in canoe polo a maximum of 3 minutes, 2 10-minute halves, and when we restart, 1 player from each team may make a charge for the ball, and the others must remain 3 meters away until the ball has been won. Armbruster for Germany takes on Miyawaki for Japan and wins that first sprint. Fastest there in a clean pickup, so pleased about that, I'm sure. And now this second half will settle into a pattern where I think the Germans will seek to extend that lead a bit, because a bit of goal difference never does you any harm later in the competition. But I think Japan will be looking to get another goal maybe and see if they can work out a way of chinking holes into this German defence, as well as keeping out the big arms of these German attackers. Really, there used to be a huge difference in the physicality and shooting ability between seniors and the under-21 category. Really very hard to notice a big difference these days. These young men have got some fantastic power in them. That there was a shot from Armbruster, not the biggest, but he was trying to be clever, but been a foul on the keeper. And Germany deciding to press man for man. That's obviously the half-time tactic from Conrad, the coach. And they are straight on to marking man for man, so they're not seeking to get 1 or 2 more goals. They're looking to put a lot of pressure on the Japanese, maybe get a whole host more. Let's see if they can actually make that happen. So this is an example of 5-out play. Germans hoping to make the shot clock pay for them, but they don't need to. They've drawn a foul anyway. Turnover of possession, and here we come. Whose turn is it? They're setting this up surely. That fell this time to Linz, but I don't think that was as much on it as he needed to beat the Japanese keeper. And a rush keeper at that, hadn't realised that. That goal was being covered by the he's a secondary goalkeeper from Miyawaki, but clearly they're favouring Yamakawa in goal. It's just as they swap over. Oh, and again another, that's a 6-metre infringement. The Germans jostling outside the 6-metre line and being pinged for it, and they're going straight back to the press. So that's clearly their plan, whether it's for the whole half or the first part of it. That's what we're starting with. And call back for another holding offence. Mai's eyes just show his disapproval of that referee call. just enough not to upset anyone, but just to let you know, you sure, Rev? Oh, the Japanese are in for a hard 7 minutes here if the Germans going to apply this. Push before he was fully upright, or both shoulders out the water. You have to allow a player to roll once you've tackled him in. Simply humane, if nothing else. And, judged to be a little bit early with that second phase push. But that's a nice ball forwards. If Kai can hang on to it, make something happen here. Captain Kai, but really being driven back. They're going to struggle with this. Physicality of this German team is very high. And they're using that to, that's just too easy a call for the ref. Paddle poked across the boat. And this is just a break that, again, unfortunately the Germans are going to score in that open goal. This time it's just Linz's turn, really. But that was a silly paddle foul, really. Lucky not to get a warning. I didn't see a formal warning issued. It easily could have been, or I might have missed it because we've got quite a few obstacles in our way in the commentary position, and the referee was immediately behind one of them. Japan trailing 8-1, still in it, or still playing in it, still looking for something out of it. Just those shots, just a little bit too easy for the Germans to pick off. Driving forward, can they create an opportunity? Miyawaki recircles the ball. Yeah, they're trying to craft something here. It's the right way about it. Don't do it randomly, and they do craft something. They craft something, they create a chance for Miyawaki on that side. As you were just saying, you could see they were trying to work a play, and that play gave them enough space to find the far edge of the ball, far edge of the goal. So 8-2. It's not a flattering scoreline for Japan, but they haven't been shut out by any manner or means. That was a very nice. That was clearly exactly what they were working for. So that would please the coach and the players. That, on the other hand, is brute force, and that was Förster, who just comes down, meets the outside edge of the Japanese defence and slams it home. The referee's making sure the ball is taken in the centre of the playing area. And Japan come forwards again. Yeah, still working the plays. Paid for them before. They mustn't just do things randomly. It simply won't be good enough to penetrate the German defence. They've proved that they've got some plays in their pocket that can actually open this up. That's what they need to go to. .12 on the shot clock. They mustn't let that fall them down. That's a long old half chance. And that's not really going to get any change out for Kai. Germans come, the ball's long gone, but can the Japanese defence recover quickly enough? This will cut across to the right, but that's nicely read and nicely cut out by Nakajima. It was the obvious pass, but he was a match to it, just tipped it away. Saved an almost certain goal there. Plenty of time for a few more goals in this for the Germans. Yeah, well saved. Corner after corner. As I may have mentioned, Japan, the only other nation to have hosted a World Championships 20 years ago in Miyoshi, 2004, and we returned to Asia this year in Deqing. Championship typically these days 2 on Europe and then 1 off, so about on schedule to be back in Asia. I'm very, very pleased to be here. We've been made very welcome. A phenomenal set of facilities here. And Germany, 3 minutes to go. Still chasing goals. And again, another foul on the goalkeeper. That's just a little bit of frustration, and if the Japanese can keep creating frustration in this German team, they'll be doing very well. Is there a pass away? This is going to be taken by Yamauchi. He gets it away, but not very tidily, putting his teammate Amamiya under pressure, and under pressure that he can't survive. Now the Germans are away, and that's too easy. Yeah. Fester gets it on the far side, in space, with time. Not many goalkeepers in the world, and certainly not a standing goalkeeper in the form of Yamamuchi there, can save that. 10-2, so the dreaded 10 comes up, but Japan have got 2 in their own pocket to kind of mitigate that. 2.5 minutes remaining. Some nice shots. When they get these half chances, Japan, they don't, they look as if they can put them away, and that had some legs on it. Definitely needed a fairly decent stop. I think it was the defence that put it out rather than the goalkeeper, but they're getting there. Certainly got a few tools in the toolbox. I think that push was a fraction early, and so does the referee. I think everyone saw that coming. It was just far too early. That's Corona there. Japanese player reaching for the ball, still in the air when he takes the push, and pretty easy call for the ref. So the Germans go down to 4 for 2 minutes or until Japan score. Obviously 2 minutes will just about see out this half, so Japan a chance to do something here, score themselves a goal, or certainly take the heat out of the game. But that was a bit careless. I don't think anyone can complain about that. Yep, Japan deciding to take the opportunity to score, having a good look, a good try. Getting a shot clock reset. Again, the rain now just picking up again, so you can see it pittering on the pitch. The umbrella's up. Yeah, and that's again, it's only a half chance. I think they might need to make more than half chances to score here, Japan. Still difficult. The German defence with only 3 players in it rather than 4 is still a fearsome German defence, and they will just keep working. And that's one of the things about Championship Polo. You don't play too many games. You can afford to put a lot of energy into a game. You get a nice gap. Championship played over 5 days can be quite grueling, but in an individual game you can put in what you have to put in. These young men fit enough to come back in the late afternoon with another game, or tomorrow, pretty much irrespective of how much effort they put in. So these 3 defenders who are left out front, which is Förster, Armbruster and Mai taking their turn on the front, will just put in the shift they need to put in. If they can keep the Japanese from scoring in the next minute and a half, it'll be job done for them. And equally, if they get half a chance to break away, they'll be gone. Referee Pelly just having to help the table officials. I think he's just checking. Oh, I see what's happened. They've not set the countdown clock on the sending off. There was 2 minutes 20 seconds at the sending off. I think roughly, I'm sure the referees between them, referee Deqing and referee Pelly, will be on top of that, and they're just going to try and make sure that gets settled. Yes, 1 minute left, exactly. Well done, referees. No mean feat to have a mental clock as accurate as that in your head, and the knowledge of where things were. Very, very nicely done. Impressive piece of refereeing. It won't be welcome for him. He could rather focus on the game, but he's had enough going on between him and referee Deqing to realise that there was about almost exactly a minute on that shot clock, or on that send-off left. And he's clearly he's indicated that with his finger. He's just having to get the table to deal with it. If they can't, I'm sure he can just tell them, you can come back on in 1 minute. Yep, that's what he's doing. Very wise. Get the game moving. Japanese ball, and here we go. So in round money, we can say that the Japanese have this shot clock. Oh, and they commit the coach killer foul of bumping the goalkeeper when they could have built themselves quite a decent attack against 4. And as I thought would happen, the Germans are playing as if there was 5 of them. If they need to work a bit harder, they're just going to work a bit harder. Fair play to them, all credit. And here we go. So Japan able to come out and press with 4 and put a bit of pressure on the Germans, because obviously that man advantage makes this possible. We're very, very difficult to do this chase with 4 against 5 Germans, but they can do this. And now I think we've got a German side here who'll probably take this to 1 shot at the end of their shot clock period. They really don't need to waste too much energy, but if they can grab 1 late goal, they pretty much certainly will. Yeah, that would appear to be the message. Everybody's on song. A little bit of a communication between Förster and Linz. And we're ready. And the player is back on. Spot on. Very nice work, referees. And yeah, definitely looking for something in the last 10 seconds or so of this game. Yep, and it falls for Förster to finish, and he does it. 10 seconds remaining. Germany going to 11-2 lead. That sending off just took a little bit of heat out of the game for us, unfortunately, but I think the Germans were just about done and dusted before he got sent off. Japan taking a speculative shot. It wasn't that bad an opportunity, but it didn't get into the goal, slightly wayward. And we go to full time in this Group B game in the Under-21 men competition. Germany run out 11-2 winners. Slightly unflattering scoreline for the Japanese, who were in the game in portions, scored 2 good goals, but unfortunately just leaked far too many on the fast break from what is a classic German tactic and has been since the beginning. So 2 teams that will move on through the system, I'm sure.